In its program's history, UNLV football has not accomplished much. They have not had a coach leave the school with a winning record since the 80s, have never won the Mountain West Conference title, and have only been to a handful of bowl games. From 2005 to 2022, they went 58-155. Last year, they had one of their best seasons in school history in year one of the Barry Odom era, going 9-5. That success does not look like it's coming to a stop anytime soon, as they just dismantled Houston on the road in their season opener 27-7. This is the rise of UNLV football. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know who you think gets the Group of 5 college football playoff bid in the comment section below. UNLV is not known for their football program and has really not had a ton of success, at least until the arrival of Barry Odom. Before the arrival of Odom, the Rebels football team had a record of 190, 327-3, where they won a conference title in 1984 and 1994, with the 84 title needing to be forfeited. They had only gone to 4 bowl games, winning 3 of them, but they had not been to a bowl game since 2013, or won a bowl game since 2000. Tony Knapp was the last coach to leave with a winning record for the Rebels program, and he left the program in 1981 as the program's winningest head coach with a 47-20-2 record. Mike Stanford never won more than 5 games in a season and finished with the record of 16-43. Bobby Hauck would be the last coach to lead them to a bowl game in 2013, but still finished with a 15-49 record, while Tony Sanchez went 20-40. Sanchez was once hailed as a great hire due to his success at Bishop Gorman High School, a Nevada powerhouse, but he would never win more than 5 games in a season. Sanchez was hired over reported names like Ed Ogeron and Houston Nutt, according to Mountain West Wire. Hauck tried to create a long-term fix as head coach of UNLV by getting the athletic budget increased and building excitement for the UNLV program. Back in 2011, the Las Vegas Review-Journal wrote, "All 17 UNLV sports benefit if the football program begins to win and bring in extra money. Those same sports also suffer when the football program struggles, as it has for many years." Marcus Arroyo would be hired as head coach in December of 2019, replacing Sanchez after serving as the offense coordinator for Oregon. Arroyo arrived during an important period for UNLV football as they moved away from their old stadium and into the Las Vegas Raiders' new Allegiant Stadium. Arroyo played quarterback at San Jose State and worked at San Jose State during the same time UNLV's athletic director at the time, Desiree Reed-Francois, served as the director of compliance. Arroyo spent his coaching career rising up the ranks, serving as the running back coach at Oklahoma State University, offensive coordinator at the University of Southern Mississippi, passing game coordinator at the University of California, offense coordinator at the University of Wyoming, and co-offense coordinator with San Jose State. He also spent seasons in the NFL as an interim offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2014. He was known as a great recruiter, and there was a lot of excitement around his hire with his offensive system. It seemed like the right hire at the time, but according to the Mountain West Wire, UNLV chose him over Keenan McCardell and Troy Taylor. During his opening press conference, Arroyo said, "Rebel Nation, we will win. The goal is to compete for championships. We'll block out the naysayers. We're building a winner that will last. The enthusiasm, the passion in this community is contagious right now. It drew me to this job." Things would get off to a rough start as Arroyo became head coach right before the world shut down, and during the shortened 2020 season, the Rebels would go 0-6. They would open the 2021 season in front of fans with an embarrassing 35-33 double overtime loss to Eastern Washington, and proceeded to start the season 0-8 before winning back-to-back games against New Mexico and Hawaii, followed by back-to-back losses to San Diego State and Air Force to finish the year 2-10. The 2022 season started off with a lot of promise as they would start the year 4-1, with their lone loss coming to Cal in a close game in Berkeley, where they fell 20-14. They seemed like a lock to make a bowl game, just needing to win 2 of their remaining 7 games. Instead, they would go on a 6-game losing streak, getting blown out by San Jose State, Air Force, and Notre Dame the next 3 weeks, before losing heartbreakers to San Diego State, Fresno State, and Hawaii, all by 7 points or less. They would end the season on a positive note, beating Nevada for the Fremont Cannon in the season finale to finish the season 5-7, their best record since 2017, but would not be enough for Arroyo to keep his job. Arroyo went 7-23 during his 3 seasons at UNLV, including a 5-17 mark in the Mountain West. One of the reasons Arroyo may have been fired, although the program seemed to be on an upward trajectory, maybe because the change in athletic director as Reed-Francois left for Missouri in August of 2021, and Eric Harper took over. In the public's eye, this decision was shocking because UNLV was still in contention for a bowl game based on their APR. Harper spoke on the decision saying, "Anyone coaching Division I football, Division II football, Division III football, it does not matter. The ultimate goal is to win and win consistently." Harper said he would not use a firm to conduct the search and that he preferred a candidate with head coaching experience. Arroyo's 3-year tenure tied for the program's shortest coaching tenure since Ron Meyer left to go to SMU, leaving UNLV with a 27-8 record in 1975. Harper said UNLV now has something substantial to offer candidates with the $35 million Fertitta football complex where the team trains and the $2 billion Allegiant Stadium where it plays. Harper went on to say, "There's a lot of interest across the board. We're going to pick the best person possible for our program." Names linked to the job included Brian Harsin, who went 69-19 at Boise State and was fired during his second year at Auburn, Deion Sanders, who was at Jackson State at the time, Scott Frost, who had just been fired by Nebraska, Ed Orgeron, among others. Instead, the job would go to Arkansas defensive coordinator Barry Odom. Barry Odom had an interesting road to UNLV, but was viewed as an exciting hire by many. He played linebacker at Missouri before becoming a high school coach for a few years before returning to Missouri in 2003 as a graduate assistant. He would spend the next 9 years rising up the ranks from GA to safeties coach for the Tigers before becoming the defensive coordinator and linebacker coach at Memphis from 2012 to 2014. In 2015, he returned to Missouri in the same role he served at Memphis and impressed enough to replace the great Gary Pinkel as the Tigers' next head coach. Pinkel would lead Missouri to 113-73 records from 2001 to 2015 and help them transition from the Big 12 to the SEC. He would choose to retire following the 2015 season due to being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and wanted to spend his remaining years with his family and friends. Missouri would go 12-2 in 2013, 11-3 in 2014, and 5-7 in 2015. At the time, Odom was the second youngest head coach for the Missouri football program. Odom would lead Missouri to 2 bowl games and a 25-25 record, but after a 6-6 season in 2019, where the team started 5-1, Odom would be fired. Despite having to navigate NCAA sanctions, Odom was still let go by his alma mater, and the decision surprised him as he felt he got the short end of the stick. When Odom was fired, he had some options to become a Group of 5 head coach, but none of the jobs intrigued him, so he instead joined Sam Pittman's staff at Arkansas, explaining, "I wanted to stay in the SEC during that time. I had known Sam Pittman, tried to hire him 2 or 3 times at Missouri, and could never afford him. He was either at Tennessee or Georgia, and I couldn't get the contract done. I had a lot of respect for him, and I wanted to go work with and for him. Man, what a great decision that was. I enjoyed my 3 years there." Odom's defenses helped Arkansas snap a 20-game SEC losing streak and helped them rebound from back-to-back 2-win seasons. With Odom as the team's defensive coordinator, they would go 19-17 with a 9-4 season in 2021 and a 7-6 season in 2022. Since his departure, the Razorbacks are 5-8. Odom almost ended up at Tulsa, but talks would break down and instead he took the UNLV job, saying in a statement, "I believe in the vision and the plan President Whitfield and Mr. Harper have for the UNLV athletic department. The alignment piece is critical and together we will achieve great success. The city is founded on opportunity and we look forward to this opportunity to lead this program and engage with the amazing community and rebels everywhere. The moment I knew this job was open, I knew I wanted it." Many schools tried to pull Odom away from Arkansas, but he wanted to take over a program he felt could be the perfect landing spot, and that was UNLV. He became the first Razorback assistant coach to be hired as a head coach since Jeff Traylor at UTSA in 2019, and the first Pittman assistant to get a head coaching job. Odom felt he had a Mountain West sleeping giant in his hands based off the resources UNLV had, and with the city of Las Vegas as well. When asked about wanting to win immediately, he explained, "I feel the urgency to win and win now. I felt that yesterday, even stronger after meeting with the football team. I've got great respect for Mr. Harper and we spoke in detail about wanting to win and win now and our urgency to get that done. Every year is a rebuild of a team. Okay, that doesn't mean it's rebuild and not success. My goal is to take this team and go win and win immediately." The staff's first goal was to rebuild relationships with local high school coaches, as Odom's predecessors had no interest in recruiting the state. The coaching staff spent the entire first week of their spring evaluation period at local Nevada high schools. He brought in young offense coordinator Brendan Marion, who ran a go-go offense, after Bobby Petrino bolted to Arkansas, and Mike Scher as defensive coordinator. Odom wanted to rebuild a strong defense, which UNLV had not been known for at the time, allowing 30 points per game 14 of their previous 15 years. He wanted to build a strong defensive line to stop the run up front. He He wanted to eliminate explosive plays, which UNLV had struggled to do for years. Odom planned to coach his defenders on the details that can make or break a play. Football IQ was prized by his staff, and they spent a lot of time focusing on situational football. UNLV would open the 2023 season with a 44-14 win over Bryant before losing to eventual national champions Michigan 35-7 in Ann Arbor. They shocked Vanderbilt 40-37, beginning their 5-game win streak to start the year 6-1. They would then lose to Fresno State on the road 31-24 before going on a 3-game win streak sitting at 9-2, heading into their final regular season game. Unfortunately, they would lose 37-31 to San Jose State before getting run over by Boise State in the Mountain West title game. They then lost to Kansas in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl to finish the year 9-5. It was the first time winning 9 games or more in a season since the mid-1980s, when Randall Cunningham led the Rebels to an 11-2 record in 1984. It was also the first time playing in the Mountain West title game for the school. While the defense was not great, it was an improvement as they only allowed 28.6 points per game and averaged 34.4 points per game on offense. Odom was named the Mountain West Coach of the Year, and some wondered whether he would jump to another program. Instead, he signed a 5-year contract extension this past spring. Heading into the 2024 season, there were high expectations for UNLV, and Odom believed they should compete at a high level. They were picked to finish second behind Boise State in the Mountain West preseason polls, earning 4 first-place votes. Heading into the season, they needed to replace Jaden Maeva, who left to go to USC, and brought in Matthew Sluka from Holy Cross. They returned wide receiver Ricky White, who had 88 receptions for 1,483 yards and 8 touchdowns last year, and Jacob DeJesus. They also looked to have a strong offensive line. They returned leading tackler Jackson Woodard on defense and loaded up on players in the transfer portal to fill the holes needed to be filled. The Rebels were 9-0 last year when keeping offenses from completing more than 65% of their passes, and 0-5 when they let teams hit 66% or better. Heading into their season opener against Houston, a member of the Big 12, many projected the Rebels to lose, and they were 3.5-point underdogs. The Daily Cougar wrote in their season debut, Houston is predicted to start out strong and defeat UNLV with the talent and depth. With their strong defense and potent offense, the Cougars should have the advantage and win easily. Instead, it was the Rebels who dismantled the Cougars, with Sluka throwing for 71 yards and 2 touchdowns and running for 59 yards in UNLV's 27-7 win over Houston, in Willie Fritz's first game. Jalen Catalon had 2 interceptions, including one that was returned for a touchdown, and the Rebels controlled the game from the start, rushing for 203 yards on the ground that night. A late touchdown with a minute left ended their bid for their first shutout in a while, and UNLV got its first win over a Big 12 team since beating Iowa State 34-31 in overtime on September 20th, 2008. The UNLV defense finished with 10 tackles for loss, including 6 sacks. Jackson Woodard finished with 11 tackles, including 3 sacks. The win skyrocketed UNLV's odds of making the college football playoffs to 22-1 odds. Their defense looked extremely improved, and they will take on Utah Tech this weekend in their home opener. Their next test will come on the road against Kansas on the 13th. The remainder of the season, they host Fresno State, Syracuse, Boise State, San Diego State, and Nevada, while going on the road to take on Utah State, Oregon State, Hawaii, and San Jose State. They come out with an 11-1 or 10-2 record and win the Mountain West Conference title. They could be competing for the Group of 5 playoff bid. If Barry Odom stays and continues the program on the trajectory they are on, Las Vegas may have a fun college football team to keep an eye on for years to come. But what do you think? Can UNLV accomplish something special this year? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.